Stephen Bartlett starts by asking his listeners for a favor: to subscribe to the show, promising that if they do, he and his team will work hard to make the show better every week. He then introduces his guest, Daniel Priestley, who shares his passion for entrepreneurship and his fascination with the predictable stages that people go through to build successful businesses. Daniel explains that he's been writing about his experiences in his books mostly to document what he's learning himself, and has also built a community of entrepreneurs who want to make the most of the times they're in. Daniel notes that the world is going through massive change, similar to the shift from the agricultural age to the industrial age, and that new rules and economic systems are emerging. He explains that in the industrial age, people had to gain skills and get a job, but in the digital age, it's more important to build a personal brand and position it next to a scalable digital business model. Daniel shares that there's a step-by-step approach to doing this, and that those who have figured it out are succeeding at speed. Stephen shares a story about a young couple he met while running in Cape Town, who were struggling to figure out how to start a business. Daniel advises that the first step for someone in this situation is to find an entrepreneur apprenticeship, where they can work in a small team and learn from someone who has a personal brand and a scalable business model. He notes that this is a new form of education, and that it's not about becoming an entrepreneur straight away, but about learning the new rules and gaining experience. Daniel emphasizes that the current schooling system is preparing people for a world that no longer exists, and that people need to reskill and reposition themselves for the emerging world. He notes that there are no sure signs that someone is cut out for entrepreneurship, but that people can learn and adapt through experience. Stephen asks Daniel about other ways to rapidly excel knowledge and skills in preparation for becoming an entrepreneur. Daniel suggests that books and YouTube channels are great resources, but that the best way to learn is to work for someone who is building a business. Daniel shares his own experiences with side hustles such as selling roses door to door and running nightclub parties. Stephen notes that writing has been a powerful tool for him in his own learning and growth, and Daniel agrees that publishing is a key part of entrepreneurship. He notes that publishing doesn't have to be writing, but can be video or audio content, and that it's a way to share ideas and get feedback from others. Daniel shares that only a small percentage of people are creating content, and that entrepreneurs need to make the move from being consumers to creators. Stephen asks Daniel about his own framework for learning, processing, and publishing ideas. Daniel shares that he got into the habit of writing through his work with events and reports, and that he began writing about what he knew to be true after the global financial crisis. He notes that he felt confident about the idea that the future would see a shift from business and institutional brands to personal brands, and that this idea has since become a reality. Daniel's book, Key Person of Influence, was a result of this process, and he continues to write and publish ideas to this day. If you enjoyed this episode till now, and want to listen to the complete episode, please subscribe to quick podcast summaries on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for just $1 per month, and you can save an average of 20 hours per week of your precious time. It's a fantastic deal to save time and stay informed.